Take a pause before putting your money into that business. It might just be among the worst businesses to start in Africa. Look, I'm about to save you years of wasted time and possibly your entire savings. These businesses may look profitable on paper, but in Africa, they are money pits waiting eagerly to swallow your entire capital. Let's get straight into it, shall we? The first is ice cream shops. Now, before you go about telling me how everyone loves ice cream and about that one successful place in your area, hear me out. The power situation alone on this continent will kill and bury this business. Your ice cream needs constant refrigeration. In most African countries, you are looking at between 8 to 12 hours of power outages daily in some areas. And sure, why not if you think you can get a generator? Just know this, it's going to cost you more in diesel than you make in sales. And here's what nobody tells you. Ice cream is a luxury purchase. When people are choosing between transport money and a cone of ice cream, guess what they are picking? Your target market is incredibly narrow, mainly middle class and above, and in specific locations, and of course, during specific times of the year. The seasonal demand is brutal. During rainy seasons or cooler months, your sales can drop to as much as 60 to 70%. But how about your rent? Will it wait? Your equipment maintenance, they still need to be paid. And you are basically running a business that only makes sense in 4 to 6 months. Is it really worth it? The second is bookstores. I'm talking about physical bookstores now. I know literacy is important and we should read more, but this is business, it's not charity, and it's not education. The reading culture in most African countries is practically non-existent outside academic requirements. You stock your shelves with amazing books and watch them collect dust. The few people who do read are either getting PDFs online for free or ordering from international sites. Your competition isn't other bookstores, it's the internet. Someone can download an entire library to their phone for free while you are paying rent on a physical space, buying inventory that may never sell, and dealing with damaged books that you can't return. And here's the killer. Books are heavy, shipping costs are insane, your margins are already very thin. Most books you'll sell at maybe 20 to 30% markup if you are lucky. Now after rent, staff and utilities, what are you left with? You realize you're operating at a loss. I've watched 3 bookstores close in my city in the last 2 years. These were people with passion, good location and capital. All this didn't matter. The next will surprise you even more, and that's gym and fitness centers. This one hurts because fitness is booming globally, right? But in Africa, gym business is a different beast entirely. First, the equipment. You are importing every single thing. A decent treadmill will cost you around $2,000 to $3,000. Now multiply that by everything you need, and you're looking at between $20,000 to $40,000 just for equipment before you even open your doors. Then the membership problem. People sign up in January, pay for 1 or 2 months, then disappear. You'll have 200 registered members, but only 30 actually coming. And good luck getting them to renew. The commitment culture just isn't there yet. The next thing that this business will use to finish you is power costs. Imagine air conditioning, lights, equipments. For all these things, you will need stable power all day. Your electricity bill may be higher than most members' salaries. Here's what kills most gym owners. They need 200 to 300 consistent paying members to break even. But acquiring members is expensive. Retaining them is nearly impossible. And you are competing with outdoor exercise, which is free. Meanwhile, your equipment needs maintenance. Your lease keeps running, and your staff still need their salaries. It's not their fault that people are not coming in. The next in line of businesses that you must not start for whatever reason in Africa is exotic pet stores. Now, this might surprise you, but exotic pet stores are a terrible idea in most African markets. You may get lucky in some places, but in general, it's a bad idea. First, let me be clear. I'm not talking about the regular pet shops that sell dogs, cats, and chickens. No, I'm talking about stores specializing in exotic pets like parrots, reptiles, fish aquariums, hamsters, rabbits, fancy birds, and so many others. Your market is incredibly niche. We're talking about less than 1% of the population who have income, space, and interest in keeping exotic pets. Most people are struggling with basic expenses. They are not spending $200 on a parrot or $500 on aquarium setup. The supply chain is a nightmare. Importing exotic animals legally involves permit, veterinary certificates, and compliance with international wildlife regulations. The costs are astronomical, and one shipment delay means dead animal and total loss. Maintenance costs only will kill this business because these animals need specific temperatures, specialized food, and constant care. And how about electricity bills for keeping proper conditions? When power goes out, you are scrambling with generators or watching your stock die. Here's the real problem: veterinary care. When someone's exotic pets get sick, there are barely any vets who specialize in exotic animals. The animal dies, and suddenly you have an angry customer, bad reviews, and potentially legal issues. How about ethics and legality? You are navigating a minefield. Wildlife trafficking laws, cities regulation, and changing government policies. One wrong move and your entire business gets shut down, your stock confiscated, and you are facing criminal charges. The few customers you are able to get will want constant support and advice. You become an unpaid consultant for life while they spend money with you once. Now we're out of that. The next you may be thinking to start is internet cafes. If you are yet to realize that it's a very, very bad business, even though some people are still doing it, come with me because this business model is on life support. Smartphones have destroyed this industry entirely. Someone who couldn't afford a computer 5 years ago now has a smartphone with internet access. Your main customers now are just students printing assignments and people doing passport photos. You are making what? $0.5 per hour on internet use. Maybe $1 for printing. Meanwhile, you are maintaining 5 to 10 computers, paying for high-speed internet, rent, electricity, and security. The math doesn't just work, most especially when you start looking at the profit margin. It's too microscopic. You need to be full every single day just to break even, but you are not full. You are maybe 30 to 40% occupied on good days. How about weekends or school holidays? And here's the thing that will finish this business completely in the next few years. Government digitalization and free Wi-Fi spots are expanding. From libraries to malls, restaurants, everywhere is now offering free Wi-Fi. So why would anyone pay you? Another that you may not know is a very bad business, most especially in Africa, is premium restaurants. Trust me, it may sound prestigious, but it's a business graveyard. The clientele that can afford fine dining in most African cities is very, very tiny. You are targeting maybe 5% of the population, and they are not eating out every day. You need maybe 50 to 80 customers daily just to break even. But what are you getting? Probably 20 on good days. And what's even worse, food costs are unpredictable. Tomatoes are cheap one month, triple price the next. How about your imported ingredients? Of course, they are subject to currency fluctuations and supply chain issues. Staff training is expensive and constant. You train someone properly, they leave for another establishment or move abroad. You are always rebuilding your team while trying to maintain standards. But here's the real killer: African taste preference. You open a fancy Italian place and customers start asking you to modify dishes or complain it doesn't taste like our local food. Now you're stuck between maintaining authenticity and giving customers what they actually want. If all I've said is not enough to get you away, listen to this. Getting rent for a prime location where your target market exists is just astronomical. You may end up selling your soul just to keep your doors open. Now the next, which you probably once thought of starting, is car rental services. This looks profitable until you factor in the African reality. The insurance situation is disaster. People will damage your cars and disappear. Your insurance doesn't cover everything. You spend more time in police stations and repair shops than actually running your business. So why should you go into it? In fact, maintenance costs are brutal because African roads will just destroy your vehicles. What should be minor maintenance becomes major repairs. A car that should naturally last 5 years in Europe will need serious work after 2 years in most places in Africa. Customer trust issues are massive. People rent your car and use it for illegal activities. It gets impounded. Now you're fighting legal battles to get your own property back while still paying the car loan. From there, we move to the revenue model that doesn't just work. To break even on one car, you need it rented out at least 20 days in a month. But you are dealing with low season periods, maintenance downtime, and customers who book then cancel. You'll be very lucky to get 12 to 15 days of actual rental month. So before you can get into this business and survive, you will need a fleet to make real money. But that means massive capital and massive risk. One major accident can wipe out a month's profit. So, what businesses actually work in Africa? I'll tell you. Focus on essential services, phone accessories and repairs. Everyone has a phone. Everyone breaks their phone. Water bottling and distribution. People need clean water daily. Food businesses that match local taste and budget. Small shops, local dishes, affordable fast food. Of course, you can stick with agriculture. In my previous video, I talk about agri-businesses you can start without farming. You can check it out. Another you can start is clothing business. People must definitely wear clothes. Service-based businesses with low overhead is another thing you can start. I'm talking about digital marketing for local businesses, professional training and courses, mobile services that come to customers and stuff like that. Next is businesses solving actual daily problems like transport services, logistics, home services, maintenance, and repairs. All these businesses I've mentioned have consistent demand, low overhead, match local spending power, and solve real problems people face daily. All the businesses I've shown you to stay away from today have one thing in common. They work great in developed economies with stable power, strong purchasing power, and different customer behavior. But in Africa, trust me, they are real traps. Whatever business you're going into needs to match the market realities, not the market you wish existed. Focus on what people need daily, not what sounds impressive. That's how you actually build wealth here. Drop a comment if you want me to break down the businesses that are actually printing money in Africa right now. I'll see you in the next one.